Hello, friends. Every Nigerian need to listen to this. Need to listen to this news to the end. Nigeria of yesterday is not Nigeria of today. Something is changing in Nigeria. This is Nigeria is really beginning to do things other way. You need to listen to this. Listen to this news to the end. And
Northwest Nigeria. A new administration is in charge, and the aftermath is some sort of rough fight with the immediate past government. The state government has confirmed operation of the Nigerian police that led to the recovery of vehicles allegedly looted by the former governor, Bello Matawale. And according to a statement by the spokesperson of the governor, the police acted on a court order while a search warrant was obtained before the operation. Hence, security agents stormed Matawale's residence, where some vehicles were recovered and impounded. Gentlemen, who acted out of line here?
I think I support what the governor had done. Yes, it may sound, it may look unfair or vindictive, but you see, we have to change this narrative that the governor can do whatever he likes in his state. You will see a governor, after being governor maybe for 4 years or 8 years, after 8 years of benefiting from the state, he will be going home and they will give him all kinds of pensions, cars, vehicles. They will even make laws within the state to compel states, even states who are poor, who cannot even pay salaries, will still pay these governors huge sum of money and entitlement. So I don't think it is right. I don't think it is right, for whatever reason, for the governor to leave after he didn't win re-election and then to go with a lot of cars belonging to the government. It's not supposed, if he's entitled to it, there should be a law within the state that will say, okay, these are his entitlements, and he can so be entitled to those things. But to just unilaterally think that he can keep some of the perks of office that he enjoyed, I don't think that is constitutional. It's not lawful. So if the governor, yes, I know that part of the problem is that it's a new party that has formed a government in that state. So there's not a cordial relationship between them. In a place where there's a cordial relationship, there are certain things you can overlook and say, okay, a guy wants to go with it, let us just go. But it's not right. We should not just assume that the governor can just go with a lot of cars and then he would say, oh, I was the governor, so I'm entitled to it. No. They must follow what the law says. If there is no provision in that state for the governors to go with those cars, then you're not supposed to be with those cars.
All right, Vicky, would you also say the governor went this far because they are from different political parties?
Up till March last year, Dauda Lawal, the current governor, was in APC. So a lot of the people around him are APC members because largely that election was won because APC rebelled against APC. That's how Dauda Lawal got into office. PDP had never been popular in the state. That is one. The second thing, yes, there could be some vehicles that belong to the state government that the governor should have dropped, that were not dropped. What Dauda Lawal began doing was every commissioner, they collected their cars from them. In fact, the Commissioner for Information, Dosara, it was in the presence of his children that they took his car away. Now, in some cases, and it happens in every state, there could be an option for you to buy your vehicle. Dauda Lawal reportedly revoked every option to buy that was given to these people. He also revoked the option of giving it to some of them as parting gifts. So they were going from house to house in a manner that has never happened in Nigerian history. They were going from house to house, government officials, and forcibly taking those vehicles from them. There were some people who got waivers. They also wrote even to the deputy governor to say, look, all the vehicles in your convoy, we are coming for them, this and that. Now, in Matawale's house in Maradun, his hometown, they got there were 53 cars. Out of the 53 cars, 13 cars were meant for the governor's convoy. You can have a court order, you can get a search warrant and all that. But we also know that even those things are subject to abuse. Now, some of the vehicles were laminated in Tinubu's color because Matawale was the chairman of Tinubu's campaign in the Northwest. Some of those 53 cars were actually donated to the campaign and they were kept in his yard. Some were donated to him as a governor who sought to return to office, and some donated to the Tinubu campaign, which they knew that, okay, in his position as chairman for Northwest, he will be able to distribute it for people who go to the field and work for them. You took 53 cars away, including those that did not belong to government. It was also said that even cosmetics that were bought, meant for Matawale's daughter that was due to get married, was also taken away. There is no cause, there is no reason in the world to be arbitrary. Yes, there are 13 cars on the governor's convoy should have been dropped. No one is arguing about that. But you can't go beyond what belongs to government. What was the nature of the court order that you got? Did the court order say any car that you saw in the premises you should just take away? That's nonsense. Because before he became governor, he was already a rich man. And there are many people like that. If you know some of our friends in the north, they like cars. Even Honda cars in those days when we were growing up, you see people who have different kinds of Honda cars, different brands. So because someone got into government, worked for some years, other property that you acquired, you think you should just take everything away because you are governor today? You are governor today, but in a few years, you may become an ordinary person. That's why in this life, we have to be careful about how we use power. There is no parallel for what Dauda Lawal has done. No parallel. I've never seen people go to this. I know that every time, even the governor of Benue is talking about the fact that they didn't release some cars. Part of it is that when you are about to leave office, you are entitled to some to terminal benefits. The incoming administration, you'll be chasing them for so long, they will not pay your terminal benefits. I know people who till tomorrow they are complaining, oh, they didn't pay our terminal benefits because it was a different party that took over. My concern is those vehicles that are not government, you've taken those that belong to government, but to take away 53 cars, you should have known that some of them did not belong to government. What checks did you do to ensure that only the government vehicles were taken away? Then what right did you have to take away vehicles already laminated in political colors and all that? Or were you assuming that even some of those tuke vehicles also belong to government? I mean, what was the meaning of this? That's why people are just like, oh, because you won an election. You may win an election, but at the end of the day, you still have to behave in the right way. No one is saying it's right to take away government vehicles. But even at that, it's not in all cases that they take away a car that a man had used maybe for 4 years. There's usually the options, whether you want to buy the thing, in which case you'll be told to pay some amount of money. The government still makes money from it. Not that you revoke all options to buy and then including vehicles that does not belong to the government, you take them away. That's very, very unfair.
Mayor, you agree with Ikeo?
Yes, I agree with him. It is wrong. Because, like I said, it is wrong for the governors to get away with cars because it's a normal thing that we do. But it's also wrong for the new governor to use executive powers to do what is wrong. The whatever order was this very clear is that they should retrieve government vehicles. So to go to somebody's house, if it is true that they took all the cars that they found in that compound, it is wrong. And I think Matawale should go to court and fight that decision, because I'm sure the court did not give that order. The order they must have given them is to say that the state is entitled to retrieve government vehicles. Yes. So you cannot go to somebody's house and now retrieve, seize all the cars that you find in that compound. That is illegal, and I think Matawale should go to court.
Thank you.